Hello, welcome to the WEMAG Show. We have today our special guest, Patricia Barnes. She is a registered nurse, a blogger, an author, motivational speaker, and founder of Go Patty LLC. Welcome to our show. How are you?
Thanks for having me on the show, Claire. I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Now, can you please tell everyone what is Go Patty LLC?
Yes, Go Patty is a movement to inspire, motivate, and empower others to become whole as an individual, to work on personal development, to dream big, then take action, and always have fun in between.
Wow. So tell me, how did you get started with Go Patty? What made you want to do that?
Well, my first year as a registered nurse, I knew that I was going to move on to something else, but I didn't know what that was. So I started looking into grad school programs, but I really didn't find something that I absolutely loved. And so I started to seek, like, well, what is my life purpose? What
Mm-hmm.
was I created to do? What really makes me happy? Something that I don't mind doing for free. And one thing I realized is I love to encourage and help others. That's why I became a registered nurse. And so I started looking into ways that I could do that on a personal level because I'm an introvert and I love one-on-one interactions. And one thing that has really helped me evolve is personal development. So that's how Go Patty became.
Okay, so where are you right now with Go Patty?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what's happening right now with Go Patty? Like, what events are currently happening, or what are your plans for Go Patty?
Well, I had my first official speaking engagement, and I'm currently working on a book that is going to launch on January the 5th, Women Inspiring.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So the book title is what?
Women Inspiring Nations, I'm Still Standing. So it's an anthology of 40 women who talk about their most painful obstacle moments in their life that they have overcome.
Oh, wow.
And some of the women talk about their story of divorce, domestic abuse, losing a close relative, losing a close relative, as well as losing everything and having to start over again. Uh, it's a whole bunch of other stories that women talk about.
That's going to be a great book. Looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
January 5th, you said it's launching?
January the 5th.
Oh, good, good, good. So, being that your book is about women who have overcame so many obstacles and personal issues, so tell us some of your personal issues that you overcame, I'm sure.
As far as this year, I'm talking about the loss of my grandmother, who was someone I was extremely close to, my best friend, my confidant, my just one that I would go to, my ride or die. And it was an emotional journey for me. And I definitely went through the stages of grieving. And I wanted to share that because, as encouraging as I am and the ability that I have to self motivate, I went through a dark path for a moment. And I really had to rely on my faith and say, okay, Patricia, you are so positive and encouraging, but can you really get yourself out of this? And I started drinking a lot of wine. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, it hit me like this is how people become addicted to drugs and alcohol. It's those really dark, painful moments where you feel like, okay, what now? What am I going to do? Because coming from a dysfunctional family and not really having excuse me,
Take your time.
not really having those close relationships, and my grandmother being the one that I consider to be my family, what was I going to do now as a single mother? I'm a single woman with no kids.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to do? And I felt like I really had to rely on God to show me what was I going to do, and that I wasn't alone, and allow myself to go through the grieving process. So I talk about that, being her caregiver and taking care of her on hospice and being the one to find her dead and all those traumatic things and overcoming it.
So sorry for your loss. When you first told me this, again, please, so sorry for your loss. Now,
Thank
while
you.
you're going through this, Did you have a support system yourself to help you get through it?
Yes, actually, my dad, because he also helped me take care of my grandmother, my grandfather. I have had friends, I have had families members, even family members that I wasn't close to. That's how God works. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you lost one great one, but I'm sending more people that can support you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have connected with family members that I've never been close to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, being that you lost your grandmother who was very close to you, and was that the same time you started Go Patty or before?
This was after I started Go Patty. I started Go
Oh,
Patty in 2007.
okay. Okay. And your grandmother passed away afterwards. But so at least she knew that you were doing something very positive.
Yeah, she knew. She didn't understand though, because
Oh, okay.
on my blog, I talk about some really personal things, and I talk about my dysfunctional family, and I talk about my single journey, all those things that have brought me many tears. And she just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, coming from her generation, that's a silent generation. They don't talk about things. She's like, I don't know why you doing that. But I'm like, Grandma, this is my life purpose. Like I have to share my journey to encourage other people.
Right, right. It's interesting how when us as women who overcome, a childhood issue, a childhood problem, that we evolve, we grow from that, and we try to help others like we have.
hmm
So like some of the childhood experiences that you had, what were they that helped you become the woman you are today?
I would say I know the reason why I started Go Patty is to be an example, a role model, a auntie, a cousin to someone who was like me, who's so different from their family members
Mm-hmm.
and who have to go against what the family member wants, but you know in your heart that that's the right thing to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to talk about issues. So for me, it was extremely hard going to my elders and telling them how I felt in order for me to heal, because there was some parts of me that was broken and damaged from my family and the things that we've been through and how I was treated as being so different. So I would say that when you have that strength and your confidence in God and you know that you're doing it with a pure heart and you're not trying to tear anybody down or make anybody feel bad, but you have to talk about some things if you want to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mm-hmm.
healing is so important. That's the journey. That's the key to wholeness. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that feeling. Like when you can let go of people bondage and you don't care, not that you don't care about losing people, but you know that your mental and your emotional health is important and you have to talk about some things. That's the way to go.
So when did it actually start for you? What age did you realize that you need to end the worrying about people think about you and just do what's best for you? Because I know
I
for
want
me
to
as an
back
adult, it took me like in my 30s to finally get there. When did it finally help you get there?
Yeah, I
What
want to
age?
backtrack. I started Go Patty in 2017. I think I said 2007.
Yes, you did.
So
Mm-hmm.
2017 is when, at 30, actually, because I'm 35 now. So 5 years
Okay.
I've been on this journey. And before I registered Go Patty, I started the journey at 30.
At
And it
30.
was, yeah, at 30. I guess that's when you start getting like, hold on, I'm a grown woman now. I can talk respectful. But some days, because I'm from Baltimore and it can get real love and hip hop Atlanta housewives and in
Oh
the
no.
beginning. But it's just like I love you, because my sometimes I have a conversation with my mom. I feel bad because she would cry, but it's just like I want us to get through this together, and just be respectful as possible. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it just got really messy. But
Mm-hmm.
people have to understand that on a journey to healing, sometimes it's not rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it's messy. It's
Mm-hmm.
tears. It's like we have to talk about this, and you don't want to hear it, but I have to tell you because it's a part of my healing journey, and that's how it has to be. But I'm so glad I was bold enough to do that.
That's great. At age 30 years old, it helped you. Like for me too, it was in my early 30s. I found my voice. I wanted
hmm
to really be outspoken and say what I feel and say what I think. But like you said, it can get hip hop Atlanta, housewife, things like that.
Yes.
So it's like, where do you cross the line to try to use emotional intelligence and independence to
Yes.
verbalize how you feel in a more respectful manner, like you said, without
Yes.
making yourself feel like you're the bad person. Like Michelle Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we must go high. But
Yes.
what is that like? How did you get to that point where, you know what? I'm not going to get there. I'm going to say what I say in a way where it's going to make me look good still and respect you. How did you get to that point?
Well, honestly, when you're talking to family members, especially your elders, they don't really see you as being respectful when you call them out on that mess, so to say. And as respectful as you try to be, it's still not going to come out right, because in their eyes, it's like, first of all, from their generation, who you think you talking to, little girl? Like, I'm the mother, I'm the grandmother. What do you know? That's the favorite line. You're not a mother, and you're not going to understand until you become a mother. I understand that, but I'm a child. I am a child. I'm your child. I know how that feels. I know how it made me feel. And if I can help the next child, then that's what I'm going to do. But in order for me to even talk about the things I talk about on Go Patty, I had to go through it first. It's just like practice what you preach. Like, I'm a firm believer of that's a part of your self-love journey, because when you truly love yourself on a deeper level, you have to be able to communicate your feelings and set boundaries for people and like, okay, this is no longer okay for me. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like the way that it causes tension and division in the family. Can you please stop doing this? But one thing about me is I have always been a peacemaker, and I love all my family. Even though we dysfunctional, I love both sides of my family. So I believe at the end of the day, when I initially started speaking out and using my voice, it wasn't perceived well. And there was moments where I wasn't talking to certain family members. But because of my faith, I do a lot of prayer and fasting. And so I will pray for my family members. I will pray for God to heal my dysfunctional family, because he made it like you cannot, when you try to fix things, sometimes you can mess it up even more. So I just use prayer as my strategy. And over time, family members will see, like, Patricia, I see what she's doing. Because sometimes you have to leave the village and go on your own so that you can live the life that you want, because family members may not want that same lifestyle. So when they see you doing well and you have developed emotional intelligence, and that you have set boundaries, and that you're happy on a personal level, then they're like, oh, okay, I see what she was saying. Okay, I see her now. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad that she wants to set boundaries and talk about the past so that she can heal and not just sweep it under the rug like everything's okay when it's not.
Yes, it's hard to do. It's very hard to do, but you did it, and look where you are right now. Now, tell me about your road to becoming a registered nurse.
Okay, so I was inspired to become a registered nurse by my mom. She's a geriatric nursing assistant, and my grandmother, she was a caretaker. And I used to go to the nursing home with my mother and my grandmother, go to her job because she did a lot of private duty. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I love the way that they took care of their patients. So I was like, you know what? In my mind, I remember as a little girl, I'm like, I'm going to take it a step further. I want to go to college. I want to become a registered nurse. That was my dream career. And it wasn't easy, but that was my inspiration.
Because I know when I was in college, my freshman year, I was a nursing major myself.
Okay.
And it was a challenge, okay? So I remember there was one class in particular, I received a C twice. And therefore, I was dismissed because of that. Because I know you have to maintain a certain grade to stay in the program. And you did it.
It's so
being a nurse is
competitive.
hard.
Let me tell you, I gave up my life. When I tell you, only thing I did was study, 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 study. But on those school breaks, oh, did I party. I had a good time, but I was so focused, because one thing about me is that it was never always just about me. Like, me becoming a registered nurse was to show my brother, my cousins, my little nephews that if I can go through college and pass, so can you. You can be a college grad. And it's like I could never give up because it's just like I would let my whole family down that was looking up to me. So yeah.
Now, since you were an example for them, did they go to college themselves? Did they, get their
Yes.
degrees?
Yes, my brother did.
Good.
Yes, he did. But my little cousins and my nephews, they're still too young to go to college.
Okay. So do you still have that role that you put yourself in to always be that example, to show people how to do things?
You know, I stopped being the example, or wanting to be the example, but I feel like that's just who I am. Because even if I'm not trying, how my makeup is, it's like I'm always trying to do the next thing. I'm very ambitious, even like as wholeness, personal relationships, interpersonal relationships, your emotional intelligence, your mental intelligence, financial, career, spiritual. Like I'm always trying to evolve. So even if I'm not trying to be that example anymore, and I'm not with my family because I realized that I'm just different from them, and me always being excited, like, oh, I learned this today. It's like overwhelming them, and they thinking like, oh, you don't know everything, Trisha. It's like I'm not trying to say I know everything, but it's just like I just have this gift where I want to help other people. So it's in me. And that's another reason why I created Go Patty, so I can get off my family nerve, get on I won't get on their nerves anymore. And now I have Go Patty to share my thoughts and what I'm doing, and whoever wants to be inspired by that, I would love to welcome them and help them in any way I can.
Well, and that's what you're doing. And just amazing. You use the word overwhelming your family members, because you keep bringing them information, and your excitement, your enthusiasm.
Yes.
And they were not receiving that. So you have a platform that's helping others, women especially, to be okay with what they're going through now, because they will overcome it.
Yes.
So it's amazing that from where you came from, look at you today, look at you now, because you say you're from Baltimore. You were born and raised in Baltimore, correct?
Yes.
And I know Baltimore was a tough city, isn't it?
It is. It's
So,
Murderville.
So how did you avoid all that? How did you stay focused and be the person you are and what you achieved you are today?
Well, a lot of the crime happens in Baltimore City, and fortunate for me, I was raised in Baltimore County.
Okay.
And I didn't live in a bad neighborhood.
Oh,
so I
good.
thank God for my parents that I was really sheltered from that environment. Yeah, so it just depends on where you live. And
So
for
there's
me,
Baltimore City and Baltimore County.
yes.
Okay.
And the city is where a lot of the crime and stuff happens. But the county has crime as well, but it just depends on the neighborhood.
But you managed to stay focused and complete your degree in nursing, and you're doing so much more. And now you're going to be an author of a book on January 5th
Yeah.
with remarkable
Yes.
women, 40, you
Yes.
said, 40 of them.
40 women, and
40
they have
women. So how did you
amazing
get them to come
stories.
and be part of the book? How did you reach out to them? How did that
No,
happen?
I'm not the visionary. I'm not the visionary. No
Oh.
credit. Dr. Cheryl Wood is the
Oh,
visionary. Yes.
okay.
Yes. I
Okay.
have to thank her. I'm so thankful for women. That's another thing that I really appreciate is women supporting women. And like yourself, sharing your platform is just so much empowerment going on. And I really appreciate that.
See, that's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, about you are a remarkable woman yourself, how you are complimenting another woman, giving the woman a credit, another woman a credit. Most women don't even want to do that, to compliment women for achievement or to give that woman a credit saying, thanks to her, I'm able to do this. And it's what
Exactly.
we need to do for each other. That's how you show support.
Exactly. It's so true. It's like my thing is girls compete, women collaborate.
Yes.
I love to support women, and I'm giving a lot of women credit for allowing me to share on their platform. And the beginning stages, like not having a lot of followers, not having a lot of likes and comments, but women just saying, you know what, I like what you're doing, and I want to share it with the world. And I I feel like that's just me getting my good karma back for always trying to be good to others and help others and be the example. I'm getting all that good blessings back to me.
And one thing is, it's not about the likes, or it's about the fact that you're doing what you love. And if you reach out
Absolutely.
to one person or one woman, you're doing great. You're helping her, and she won't forget about what you put out there. Like Cheryl Wood, she reached out to many women, and look what they're doing. Like yourself, look what you're doing. Look what you're accomplishing with yourself. And you got to keep moving, keep going, and you're feeling good about yourself. And I could see from this interview, you're a happy person. You love what you're doing.
I do. And it's definitely not about the likes. Like for me, whenever I do an interview, whenever I write a blog or a quote, it's like, God, let me just help the one.
Yes.
It's not about popularity. It's like impact for me. Like I want to die. I want to die empty, and I want to help as many people as I can. So I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on going. Focus on the right things.
Yeah, that is your purpose. You find your purpose really well. And with Women's Success Magazine, for about powerful women, that's what I want to do. I want real women to be on my show and speak and talk and be authentic. And thank you for doing that. When you're on my show, you're on the show, and you are speaking the truth from your heart.
Thank you so much for having me, Clay. I really appreciate you.
And you're so real. Look at that. That's what I want. I want realness. I want realness. I want realness, So let me ask you a question. Being who you are, how does that help you in your work as a nurse, with coworkers, with colleagues, when they see your energy, your positive, strong energy? Does that also intimidate them, or they understand that?
That's a great question. It was really tough for me because I started nursing at 25. I'm 35 now. And I came in so innocent, so fragile, like filled with love and wanted to love everybody, want everybody to get along. And let me tell you, that is a target because nursing is all about politics and popularity. Remember, I'm not about popularity. It's like I love and I value one-on-one interaction with people. And I'm a real person, and people don't like that. And when you speak the truth and you just come in like, I'm just here to help the patients, I want to do my best, and I want to go home. I don't want to get into all the other logistics and politics, but it was tough for me. It really was tough. And I had to become really strong. And I had to remember why I became a nurse, to help people and to not give in. Because really, for the first time in my life, I almost quit. I never quit a job before.
What?
I said, because it became too much. You have nurses who literally lie on you to try to get you fired. And you mean I worked 7 hard years to become a nurse, and then you're going to try to get me fired based off of lies because you don't like me? You have the doctors who belittle you. You really, it's a hard world. But if you just stay focused on the goal. And one thing I know, and one thing that has helped me, was I had to go back to my faith.
Right.
Is when you're doing the right thing and you have your pure intentions, that God always seemed to elevate you in front of your haters. So what happened was, there was a lot of confusion going on in my job, and you had people who didn't like me for whatever reason. And it was a patient. Because when you are sincere in your work and you have great work ethics, you have people who see that in you. So it was a patient who noticed that, oh, she's a really great nurse. He wrote a letter to the president of the hospital to compliment me as a nurse. And I was able to get an award that very few people in the hospital get, in front of my haters. They didn't get the award, but I did. And then I went on to get a really awesome job that I have now, that I absolutely love. And it's based off of just staying true to who you are.
That's right.
And I had to learn that no matter how hard the world gets, no matter how many people don't like me or don't like my positivity, I will never change that. I will never stop supporting people. I will never stop loving people. I will never stop trying to become my highest self, no matter who I have to let go in the process, because there's value in that. If I quit and give up, What is that showing the people who are waiting on me and they're watching me, and that they are assigned to my
Mm-hmm.
destiny? So I could never give up and stop being who I am. It's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the more you try to tear me down, the more I'm going to build myself up.
That's right. That's right. Look at the strength you had to have all this happening to you, and you stayed true to who you are. You didn't go down. You didn't go low. You didn't go low with them.
Mm-mm.
You remained
No.
high,
Mm-hmm.
and all the blessings came on your way. All the blessings you were able to achieve that.
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it's so hard. And like you said, you almost quit at one point,
Mm-hmm. I
but
did.
you stayed true to yourself, and your strong faith did not allow you to quit on yourself.
No,
And
it didn't.
like you said, people were watching you, and there are the people
Mm-hmm.
there who wanted to see you succeed too. And you have to be an example again to show them, you know what, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to show you that this can be done no matter what obstacles are in front of me or people who are trying to bring me down. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to be young too, to go through that at a young age. That's
Whew.
scary.
It's hard, but I have to say, I thank my dysfunctional family. There is a blessing in dysfunction. Because look, when you have family members who feel a certain kind of way about you, they might not like you or might be jealous of you. They want to tear you down because of who you are. And I didn't allow that to stop me from being
Mm-hmm.
who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing more painful than being hurt by your family members. So I can handle it from strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle it from my coworkers, from
Mm-hmm.
people that I thought was my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Once you can get through that pain, that's why you have to go back to your childhood and
Mm-hmm.
heal those traumas and talk about those traumas and try to get closure and tell the people who hurt you how you feel so that you can move forward. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of prayer. God, please do not let me have a bitter spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't take the joy away from me. Please don't take my laugh away from me. Please don't take the love that I have for people
Mm-hmm.
away from me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had to always pray those prayers.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So, for you to have overcome these traumas in your childhood, did you seek out therapy? Did you see a therapist? Did you, or it was just like by you talking to your members of the family who caused you the pain that helped you?
I never went to therapy. I have to say, a lot of it was my faith, talking to God, praying about it, crying, going to family members, and
Mm-hmm.
understanding that some family members may not change, and that's okay. But I can choose to change for the best. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did. So I focused more so on me. And surprisingly, when I let go of everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like some of those relationships that were not good and that
Mm-hmm.
it has been repaired. And some of them have not. Some of them you have to say, well, I have to love you from a distance because me loving you so much and holding on to you so much and you not doing the same for me is only bringing me down.
Mm-hmm. You know something? I'm learning a lot from you too right now. So you are good. You're going to be a great motivational speaker. What you're doing, Go Patty, is awesome. And you're going to have much success with it because you're staying true to yourself. And I'm looking forward to reading that book. All right.
Thank you.
What's the title name again of the book?
Women Inspiring Nations, I'm Still Standing.
Women Inspiring Nations, I'm Still Standing. That's a great title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
wow.
love that title.
I
Ooh,
love it
because
too.
I
I
have
love
so
it
many
too.
stories of I'm still standing.
I can't wait to read about them. And it's on your blog too, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, Patricia, as I always do, I ask my special guests to always share a motivational quote that they like to tell themselves or tell others. If it's a quote that you created yourself, an original one, that's great. If it's someone that you follow and you read their quotes and you love, you can share that too. So please, before you say goodbye to us, please share us one of your motivational quotes.
All right. Now, Claire, this is a hard question because I don't have favorites and I love positive affirmations, but I have to say something that has helped me in my relationships and my career and my purpose is to be motivated by fear. Don't allow fear to stop you from doing anything you want to do in your life. Not from walking in your purpose, not from not from achieving your dreams and finding true love and having the best relationships. Don't allow fear to get in the way of any of that.
And that's something that you make sure to do. You didn't let fear to stop
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Nothing. Fear of your colleagues, the way they were treating you, fear of
Mm-hmm.
anything. You keep going, you keep moving, you keep going strong. And that's what's going to make you so successful, because you trust in yourself, your decisions. And look where you are right now. Look where Go Patty is right now, doing so much for so many people. So please
Yes.
continue and keep us up to date,
Thank you. I will.
and
Thank
keep
you so much.
smiling, and know that
I
your
will.
grandmother is watching over you and cheering you on as well.
She is. She's helping me. She's giving me that strength that I need to keep going.
She is. I know she is. I know she is. So thank you for being on our show, and we'll talk again. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Enjoy. Bye bye.
You too. Bye-bye.